Nope did a super chat saying, am I going to do an interview with Destiny? I already said weeks ago I'm not. And gave the full reason why. And Destiny responded to it. So, you know what's funny though? I saw his response to it. And in his response, people only told him half of what I said. Because here's what I said. I said, I don't want to do an interview with Destiny, and here's why. He seems like a good interviewer, but when he interviews people, he's doing something else. Like he's playing a game, or he's distracted, interacting with other people. And I don't like that. If he's going to do an interview, I want to have a conversation with someone. I don't want to feel like it's going to be half a conversation, or he asks me a question and he's not paying attention to the answer because he's busy doing other shit. And that's just his style. So people have even said to me that in his style, like, I guess he I don't know if it's something to do with attention or whatever, but they're like, yeah, that's how he is. Like, it wouldn't be just you. Like, that's how he's always interviewed everyone. It's not like a slight against you. And I was like, I didn't think it would be. But every interview I've seen, like, I saw him interview LTG. And I was like, wow, like, I really don't like that interview. Because at first it was good, and then all of a sudden he's, like, playing a game. And he's, like, looking to the side when, you know, he's getting answered. And I'm like, I don't like that at all. Like, that doesn't seem to me like it's a full attention interview. All right. Now, I also said in my answer to him, because I want to make this clear, I literally said the following. And here's the thing. I would not ask Destiny to change his interview style for me, because I feel that would be incredibly pretentious. And I feel like that would be like being so full of yourself to ask someone who's an established interviewer to change their style. If you just don't like their style, then don't accept an interview with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said in my statement. And no slight against him at all, right? At all. I said, you know, if he likes to interview that way, apparently it works. A lot of people interview with the guy and they like it, and apparently, you know, whatever. That's just not the style that I would want to be interviewed. So more power to him. Wish him the best. You know, whatever. So what happens? Of course, they send him me saying that, and they cut out the second half. So they only have it saying me, oh, I don't like his interview style, that's why I'm not doing it. And it makes it sound like I'm a pretentious jerk who's basically demanding that he change his interview style. So how does he respond? He's like, well, you know, if you're going to be on my show, I'm giving you all this exposure. You just got to roll with it and understand my interview style. So basically, it sounded like he got offended at me for saying what I said, when in reality, that's not what I fucking said. I elaborated on it and said, I have no problem with, you know, with anyone on that style. I'm not insulting the guy. Let him interview how he wants, but that's why I don't want to be interviewed by him, because, you know, I don't like that style. You know, and that's why I don't want to, that's why I didn't say to him, oh, change your style to interview me. I just said, nah, I just won't do that interview. You see? But again, I guess I'm the villain, right? So they made me look like an asshole. So the guy's on his stream, and he's like, yeah, I would, you know, then we're not going to do the interview or whatever, because, you know, either he doesn't understand the exposure he's getting, or he wouldn't be grateful or whatever. And I'm like, you know, that's stupid. Because that's not what I fucking said, but this is what these idiots do. They try to get streamers to go against each other and shit by giving half answers. They totally do it with me and Wings and others all the time. They'll say that I said something that I didn't say, or he said something that he didn't say, and they'll do this to try to get us at each other's throats, right? It's complete nonsense. It didn't happen, right? Like, whenever they do that, that shit usually is completely false, or fabricated, or half-truth, or what it really was. And it's pretty bullshit. You know, I'll be honest, yeah, I'm not too happy that people can just kind of tell half shit and then people believe it. I mean, in reality, I really hope that Destiny would have maybe done some research on that, but, you know, the guy doesn't really have a great opinion of me as it is. I knew he didn't like me to begin with. So, you know, the interview would have probably been interesting, because likely, and by the way, if you're not aware, Destiny also then later on went on, and he did in a different show, he basically admitted that the whole thing was a trap. I'm serious. Like, he said in another unrelated show with his audience, he said to them, so what we were thinking of doing was we were going to have Phil actually show up at a real studio, which, by the way, that never would happen. I never would have went to a real studio for the guy. All right. And he said, we were going to have him go to a real studio, and there was going to be a screen in the studio, and we were going to ask him the questions for his interview. But while we asked him the questions, instead of me asking the questions, we were going to pay WWE wrestlers to pop up on the screen and ask him these questions. And it was going to be basically like, you know, like a joke on the WWE Champions meme, that these wrestlers, right, were going to ask me the question. Who the fuck was that? So yeah, so that's what he was going to do. He was going to actually go on, like, what is it? What is the one where you pay Cameo? He was going to go on Cameo and pay like a bunch of WWE wrestlers to do cameos and ask questions about WWE Champions on the interview. It was going to be a total gotcha interview to try to make me look horrible. And then he's laughing on his stream. Ha 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 ha. That would have been hilarious. Ha 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 ha. And I'm like, so literally you admit on your stream you would have been horrible to me. And you wouldn't have given me any kind of a fair chance for anything. You already were going to try to, like, frame me or act like everything that ever was said about me was true by having these fucking guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? That just blows my mind. That just blows my mind because he publicly admitted it. And I'm like, why would you even publicly admit it? Like, now if anyone else is listening, would they ever want to be on a fucking interview with this guy? I know I wouldn't. If I was ever thinking about being seriously interviewed, why the hell would you want to be on an interview with this guy who already admitted he's going to try to, like, corner and treat you like shit, right? And deride you publicly on his fucking show. Yeah, pretty messed up. Because I approached it from the way he approached it to me. He told me it was going to be a totally fair interview. There was going to be no problem. Yes, he was going to ask me tough questions, but it was going to be fair and he was going to judge it fairly. Basically it wasn't going to be a gotcha interview or whatever. And then he literally admits on his own show, like later, oh yeah, it was going to be a gotcha interview where we were going to try to do this whole setup to get him and shit. It's like, wow, you're a real good person, man. Like, totally would have had a great time interviewed with you. Like, seriously, what a fucking waste of time and serious. But again, this guy, great following, right? You guys really want to watch his content. Great content. His gotcha content. Treating people like scum. So Nub did another super chat. He did admit to all that regarding you, but his community now loves LTG. He's talking about Destiny. LTG was a lol cow. I think his fans generally like you and you can get some clout off of him. I don't mean that in a bad or offensive way. I already said I'm not doing an interview with him. I don't even like his interview style. And then after him publicly admitting all that shit, there's absolutely no fucking way that I would ever do an interview with the guy. Basically, he's a dishonest scumbag. He lied to me. He literally said to me up front when he reached out to me, I want to do an honest interview with you. It's going to be fair. It's not going to be a trap. It's not going to be, us slamming you. Yes, there's going to be hard questions, but, and then literally publicly admits, yeah, we were going to try to trap him. We were going to try to get these wrestlers to be on. So he's an asshole. So why the fuck would I ever want to have any association with that man ever? Ever. Think about that. Someone publicly admits, I was going to fuck you. So why would you want to do anything with that? Right? I know. He admitted that he wants to completely trap and destroy me publicly. Let's do it anyway. Yeah, that's real genius level intelligence. Nope, did yet another super chat saying he did say all those things. He's in the wrong. I figured exposure on his streams to tell your story would boost the community. No. Going on someone's stream who literally all they want to do is make fun of you is a complete waste of everyone's time. All that would do is hurt the community. Why would I do that? Why would I waste my time? Right? If someone is going to treat you with disrespect, what you don't do is give them a venue to treat you with disrespect. If he wants to shit on me on his own show, he could do that as much as he wants, but I'm certainly not going to go on his show for him to shit on me. Especially because I don't know anything about the fucking guy. I don't care about him. The only time I ever had interaction with the guy is when he tried to impose himself on a stream of mine years ago about buying a car. The guy's a fucking idiot. Why would you try to impose yourself on someone else's stream? Oh, I know more about cars than you. Let me come on your stream and bomb with my reviewers. My viewers will come on your stream and say, hey, what's a buyer's market for cars? It's fucking mind-numbingly drooling shit. Like, lowest common denominator of intelligence, and that's the kind of fucking people that watch that nonsense, It's drama content. I don't care about it. I don't make that kind of content. I don't want to be involved in it, And again, Nub, I do appreciate the super chats. That is very nice of you to support the stream tonight. Thank you for that. But I'm not going on someone's stream who doesn't want to give me, an honest shake. By the way, I had other people who offered to give me fair interviews. And no, it wasn't going to be, we're not going to ask you the tough questions, but no, they weren't going to fucking corner me. They weren't going to do fucked up things like that. Assholes. They weren't going to do that. So why would I do an interview with Destiny when they were already going to give me a venue to have a fair interview? And by the way, they're bigger than him too. So, there you go. But I've chosen right now not to do it. Of all the people that I was seriously considering doing the interview with Destiny was the third biggest. So. You heard Nick Rikita say he wanted to interview me. I actually spoke with Nick a few years ago. after he had been covering my bankruptcy thing. And then after that, I actually had a few fair conversations with him behind the scenes. And he actually did say some pretty nice things to me. Basically saying that he doesn't have any ill will towards me. And basically after the way that I had handled... If you remember, a few years ago, there was an asshole who was impersonating me. And was trying to take down a bunch of people's videos and things in my name and everything. You know, my haters. Someone was trying to take down their channels. And I was 100% against it. I was like, absolutely not. I don't want that to ever happen. No one deserves to lose their channel because of someone's impersonating someone. I don't do that. And I don't want anyone impersonating me doing it or whatever. So there were some public statements I made and stuff to try to get it to stop. And basically after that, Nick and I had a couple conversations. And he's like, yeah, after seeing you do that, I kind of believe that you're kind of a, you know, at least an honorable guy. And there, oh my, what the fuck? He bounced like a ball. Did you see that? His body bounced. That was disturbing. And at that time, he even did offer to have, like, I completely missed. That one's my fault. I missed. He offered to maybe either have an interview with me or, and this was years ago, either with me or me have him on my show even. And I said, I'll think about it. But that was years ago, and, you know, haven't really thought about it. Nope says, perfectly fine to put your morals and reputation above clout. I respect that even more. I think the Destiny is a great interview. You guys could probably have an awesome conversation. If he would be fair to me, he probably would give me a good interview. But again, I don't like that style. I don't want to have him be distracted doing other things. And if, you know, that's his style because, you know, he's got maybe something wrong. Oh, there's a guy right there. So anyway, Nub, yeah, if you were saying basically if I have my morals above everything, above clout, you respect that. Yeah, I like to say it, but I do feel like my morals above everything is kind of what's hurt me a lot over the years. I was never one to use the easy mode deceptive practices of YouTube to try to get ahead. I purposely stayed away from those, like using the stupid thumbnail with the face, or the fucking, you know, clickbait titles, or the tags that were deceptive, or doing drama style content constantly, or, you know, what are the million things that all YouTubers use to get ahead over the years? I never did any of them. I always stayed away. I wanted to be my own guy. I wanted to try to earn popularity through putting out content that wasn't, you know, the easy way or the cheap way or what everyone else was doing. I always wanted to be, you know, different from the pack. And because of that, I do feel like I have definitely hurt myself in my business and my livelihood. Many times, I feel like if I did kind of do the same things as everyone else, I probably would have been way more popular. I would have made way more money. But I always, you know, a lot of opportunities I've had over the years, I turned them down to make money. You know, promote this, do that, do this, and I won't do it. I still get them today. I still get opportunities to advertise this game, do a tie-in with this company, and I don't do it. I just want to play games, have fun, be true to myself as a gamer. I'm not a fucking, I don't think I'm an influencer. I don't think that I'm a fucking celebrity where you should listen to me and buy shit that I tell you to buy. I don't want to be someone to push product on you. You know, like, that's totally against me. Oh, everything I stand for. And so, while everyone else has followed suit doing those kind of things, I've stayed completely away from them. And, yeah, I do think that it's hurt me a ton in the long term. While everyone else around me, all my contemporaries were growing and following the same formula and finding ways to get that kind of popularity, I didn't get any of it. You know? And, you know, that's where I am. That's why I'm here tonight playing Warzone with an audience of 400 people, just under 500. Instead of, you know, 1,000, 2,000. That's why my videos on YouTube have like 300 views. You know, that's why I am where I am. And, darn. You know, it is what it is. Am I happy where I am? I am. I like my content. I like knowing that the content I put out is meaningful to me and my viewers. All right. You know, and that's all I really care about. I wish that I made more money for sure. I wish that I was in a better financial situation because I'm, you know, frequently in bad financial situations, which really stinks. And I don't like having to talk about that. You know, I don't like having to talk about it. And you know, luckily recently I haven't had to. But, you know, I could have been big if I followed all the tropes back in the day on YouTube, I was definitely big at one point. I had that kind of following. And instead, I decided to be true to myself and kind of let things stagnate and become...
Heads up. Jailbreak is active.
in disrepair to some extent. No, but honestly, yeah, I think sticking to my morals and being the kind of person that I am has definitely put me behind everyone else on online as a content creator. While everyone else just did whatever. We know what it is? They call it making the bag, right? And I don't care about that at all. I don't make the bag. I don't. I just put out content, and I hope that you enjoy the content. And my viewers tell me they do. Why would I still be here? Why would I be making a living if the content I put out people didn't want to see? Correct? But to some extent, I absolutely have to say, if I had been like everyone else, I did every opportunity to make money over the years. I sold out. I kissed ass. And I did everything possible. I totally would be a different person today. I'd be probably rich. A hell of a lot more famous. I wouldn't be hated by people over the internet. It would have been a totally different situation if I just played the game. Because I was in a situation probably around 11, 12 years ago where if I just played the game, I would be set for life, But I didn't. Instead, I did my own thing. I had my own way of doing things. And, that's where I am right now. That's life. Nothing I can really do about it. But if I just keep pushing on, right? Of course, it could always be worse. That is correct. It could always be worse. I'm not complaining. I like, my life. I really do. I just wish that things were a little bit better for my whole family. There's things I'd like to give my wife and do with my wife that I can't do. That sucks, Maybe someday. You think about, what might have been, what could have been if I was a little bit less stubborn with my morals and values and, But I guess that's life, right? I am who I am.